Hello, everybody. Hello, YouTube. Hello, art history enthusiasts and visual culture aficionados. It's me again, Miss M, and I'm back with yet another video. Today, this time, I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do. I am gonna do my first review, reaction, analysis, whatever you want to call it, for the pilot episode of Twin Peaks. Okay, and I watched it. I watched this Twin Peaks. It says here season 1, episode 1 pilot. I watched it all the way through, and let me tell you, it's good. It's very, very good. Now watching this as a grown-up rather than as a small, child, totally different experience. All right, totally different experience. I think I explained in this one over here, my announcement video, that I was like a small child when this show premiered, when it was brand new on TV, and of course I watched it because it was on like at a time of the evening when I was like still up, and I switched on the TV and there it was, and I watched it and I said, what is this? As a child, I didn't know that all these years later I'd be reviewing it on my YouTube channel. We didn't know. There was no such thing as YouTube back in the day. There was just TV, and you turned it on and turned it off and watched whatever was on there, and that was that. But as I said, it was a very, very good kind of beginning. Now, do I have some analysis points? I sure do. Let me, before I get into anything, let me do my church announcements, and then let me get into like the little odds and ends regarding the show. I'm going to show you like the websites where you can get the synopsis and whatever of the episode if you'd like. So, I'll get that out the way. So, wanted to say to everybody, all of you, whoever's listening, if you're a returning viewer, thank you for returning. If you're a new viewer, thank you so much for being new. And if you're a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. There's 470 of you right now. I appreciate each and every last one of you. Thank you. Just thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to click the subscribe button and to hit the notification bell and the whole thing, right? Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos if you like them and if you know somebody who might enjoy them, right? So that's that as regarding the church announcements. It's been a couple of days. It's been, according to this here, 6 days since I've done anything on here, and that's because I've been busy up the wazoo, and I'm going to keep being busy. The rest of this month of May is going to be, it's going to be tough for me, so wish me luck. I'll just put it that way. Wish me luck. I will need as much of it as you can wish me. So there's that. But I'm making this video. I said I was gonna, and here I am. I'm really on like a David Lynch kick. I knew he was famous, but I didn't know why. For the longest time, I didn't know why, because I'm kind of new. I'm the new girl, right? I knew, but I didn't know, right? I knew that Twin Peaks was popular. I didn't really know very much about Eraserhead, and then I watched it and I was like, wow, now I can see what all the fuss is about. Like, he deserves all that fuss and more. He deserves like as much fuss as we all have to give. But it was so good, right? I was like just thrilled about the episode. This is the Twin Peaks Wikipedia page. This is like where you start with everything if you want to get into like reading and whatever about the show. This is on Wikipedia, and it leads to, I'm sure there's a clickable thing down here where, you click on this and it says list of Twin Peaks episodes, the plot and the series overview. The plot and the series overview on the main Wikipedia page explains season 1, it explains season 2, and then it explains the latest season from 2017. It explains season 3. can't talk. It seems to explain it anyway. That's maybe what I should have said. It seems to explain it. It tries to explain it. But of course, there's so much going on that I think, whoever did this is a really good show. This is a really good attempt at explaining. But no, I think what's going to happen is each episode is going to be like its own little. Each episode is its own little self-contained movie, and it would be impossible for me to do with each episode of Twin Peaks what I have been doing with The Shining with regard to my understanding the Shining series and like my play-by-play, frame-by-frame, almost frame-by-frame analysis of The Shining as a movie. I can't do that with Twin Peaks. There are, 30 episodes of the original series, plus I don't even know how many of season 3. Season 3. I don't even know how many there are, but no, I can't do it the way I do The Shining or anything else. So I'm just going to have to kind of blast through these episodes. And then, like, if I have thoughts, if I have any epiphanies regarding analysis or anything, I'll make like separate little analysis videos about like overriding themes, symbolism, what have you, and so on. So yeah, this is the main page on Wikipedia for the Twin Peaks show. And then there's the list of Twin Peaks episodes. And then I think if you click on each of these, like this one is highlighted in blue because I clicked on it. Whoops, what's this? No. Okay, there we go. That's I don't know how that happened. But you can click on each one of these and it'll open up to like a little bit more detailed plot overview for the episode, in this case the pilot episode. Then there is fandom, where you get this, right? Look at this. Okay, so you start here, right? And this says plot, right? There it is. It says plot. And oh, look at this. Look, I'm just going to scroll just to show you how much they wrote. Whoever did this, thank you. But how much they wrote in this fandom page. This is very, very long. And I would love to be able to read all of this to you, but no, I don't have that kind of time. I'm hoping this video will be less than 2 hours. But it's got good, like, basic info, right? It says written by David Lynch and Mark Frost, directed by David Lynch, etc., etc. Photographed by, edited by, and this is what I'm here for. The original air date, April 8th, 1990. Okay? So this thing, the first episode, the pilot episode aired in the springtime, I guess, in 1990. That was a long time ago. That was a long, long, long time ago. So, ay. And this show still has like this following after all these years, which is just amazing. Now, with regard to this, I'll read this short thing. I might read this too here, right? It says in various places that I think the version that I'm looking at here, as you can see, it's 1 hour and 33 minutes and 59 seconds. Okay. Or I think 1 hour and 34 minutes. So that's what, 90, where is it? Oh, gosh. 94 minutes. Okay, so it says 94 minutes. All right. I think, where did I see this? I wish I could locate it again. But it said, oh, there you go. The international version was filmed with 20 extra minutes of footage in case the series was not picked up by networks, rather allowing them to release it as a television movie. Who knew? Okay, I didn't know that. So I don't know if I should read this one or this one. All right, let me go ahead and read this synopsis here on the list of Twin Peaks episodes page. So, I'll read season 1. It says season 1, 1990. The first season originally aired on ABC For those of you who live in the Southland, that's Channel 7 in the United States between April 8th and May 23rd, 1990. Oh, May 23rd is coming up. Wow. Consisting of 8 episodes. The feature-length pilot opens with the discovery of the plastic-wrapped body of high school student Laura Palmer, an event that profoundly impacts the residents of the small town of Twin Peaks, Washington. As the series progresses, FBI agent Dale Cooper and local sheriff Harry S. Truman investigate the murder and meet the town's residents, each quirky in their respective ways, as the seemingly normal appearances of the town begins to fade, revealing various secrets that expose it as disturbed and unsettling. Oh yeah, I would, let me just put it this way. After watching the whole pilot episode, all the way through, I would never want to live in Twin Peaks. I always say that Los Angeles is a hassle because, like, it's a mess. It's huge, and there's like a lot of noise and that damn freeway and the whole thing. But I would still pick LA. Any place in LA. Just about any place in LA. I would pick that over Twin Peaks, Washington. Ay, ay, ay. It's just too much. It's just too much. But whatever. So the pilot episode, Northwest Passage, it says here in February 1989 in Twin Peaks, Washington, the corpse of homecoming queen Laura Palmer is discovered. Soon after, Laura's classmate Ronette Pulaski is found beaten and in a fugue state, prompting idiosyncratic FBI agent Dale Cooper to travel to Twin Peaks to assist Sheriff Harry S. Truman in the investigation. Finding a piece of paper under Laura's fingernail bearing the letter R, Cooper suspects a killer responsible for a similar murder 1 year earlier may have struck again. Discerning from Laura's diary and her friend Donna Hayward that she was having an affair with and was a cocaine addict, Cooper suspects more sinister goings-on than meets the eye. Deputies Andy Brennan and Tommy Hawk Hill discover the crime scene, an abandoned railway car containing half a locket and "Fire Walk With Me" written in blood. Donna realizes that James Hurley, Laura's secret lover, has the other half of the locket and persuades him to bury it. Following an altercation at the Roadhouse, a local bar, Truman arrests James, Laura's boyfriend Bobby Briggs, and Bobby's friend Mike Nelson. Laura's mother, Sarah Palmer, has a nightmare depicting an unseen figure unearthing the locket. Okay. And like this, yeah, that's nice, cute little summary. Please watch it. That's basically what I'm trying to say. This is nice and everything, but please watch the episode. If you're a Lynch fan, if you're a movie analysis person, if you're OCD like I am, and you like going down the rabbit hole and you love analyzing things visually, this is nice. This is okay. This synopsis, and probably this one too over here that I might read to you as well, or take a look at from time to time. Or this one even, this long-ass one on Fandom. That's fine and everything, but it just doesn't do it justice. It doesn't do it justice as far as, like, the majesty of what David Lynch has done here and committed to film with regard to this show. Just this pilot episode. And I mean, there's like 29 more of them for the original Season 1 and Season 2 series. Okay, so like I did the other day, I analyzed. Where's the damn thing? Where is it? Lord, wait, did I do it in this one? The reviews and reaction announcement. Yeah, but where's the one where I analyzed the damn opening sequence? Oh, why can't things just snap into place for me? What? Where is my freaking video? Oh. No? Oh, here it is. The Shining and Twin Peaks Odds and Ends. Is that it? No? Oh! Oh, I've lost my mind. It's finally happened. I think it was probably this one, the announcement video, where I talk about the opening credits, and it starts with the images that I showed you in the opening credits: the bird, the steel mill, the big ass log, and this what I'm using here, the video thing here. It's not exactly perfect as far as like me being able to red bull things the way I'd like to. So you're gonna just have to bear with me. But I already told you what happened in the episode, right? I already told you what happened in the episode. So these are those two ducks at the end of the opening credits. And I told you this very, very quick, very short synopsis of what happened in the episode. I might read this other one from Wikipedia for like, the pilot has its own Wikipedia article, which that should tell you something. There's a lot of shows, they do that for a lot of shows, not just for Twin Peaks, but neither of these synopsises do it justice. You must watch the episode and all of them like I'm gonna do. So, but anyway, it starts with the opening credits, and then we end up at the sawmill with, I think her name is, where is she? Oh, ha 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 ha. Where is she? This is nice. I thought I had all this stuff here, but I think her name is Jocelyn Packard. And the lady who plays her is named Joan Chen. She's very pretty. And we go from those sitting ducks to an image of her looking at herself in the mirror, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, applying red lipstick. And those of you who've been following me for some time, you know that I'm going to draw parallels between this Twin Peaks show, the episodes of the show, and The Shining, and Eraserhead. Just go ahead and expect that. But so we see, the first image of this lady, we see her looking in a mirror. Is this narcissism? Is this vanity? Is this, I don't know. But she's looking in the mirror, and she doesn't seem to be looking at herself like, she doesn't seem to be admiring herself. She's just kind of looking them in the mirror, like doing her face or whatever. And what you will notice throughout this episode, and probably all of the other ones, is how much wood there is on the interiors of these buildings in this town, Twin Peaks. There's wood everywhere. So the opening credits show you that cute little bird, and then we move on over to that sawmill. The sawmill is a big deal in the show. It's one of the biggest businesses in the town. And this lady is, I think, part owner of the sawmill, and her husband, she's from I think China, specifically Hong Kong. And her husband was the owner, and then he died in a very mysterious accident. And anyway, so she's part owner of this sawmill, and then this is the other owner. This is the sister of the man she was married to, and then this is Jack Nance here. I know, I'm sorry about this. Whenever I go over here with my cursor, it just makes everything look darker. But Jack Nance is over here on the left, and that's his wife on the right. She's played by Piper Laurie. So we know these actors. David Lynch recycles or reuses the same actors over and over again. I think Jack Nance was one. Piper Laurie is another. Or no, I'm sorry. I don't know about Piper Laurie, but I know another movie that Piper Laurie was in. She was in Carrie. Okay, and if you've been riding with me and watching my videos, you know how I feel about Carrie. Great movie. Terrible novel by a terrible novelist, right? But it's kind of interesting that the woman who played Carrie's mother Sissy Spacek's character's mother in Carrie is playing Catherine Martell in Twin Peaks. And this lady, Piper Laurie, really awesome actress. If you've never watched her in action, she's amazing. And there they are, like she's reading the paper, having her coffee, and the husband, Pete, he's on his way out. He wants to go fishing. So this sawmill is right next to a river, as sawmills usually are. And he's got his little, gear together, right? He's got this little woven like fish box down here, and he's getting ready to go out and go fishing. And just look at the interior of, I think this is the interior of their home. There's a salt and pepper shaker on the counter here. This is the kitchen, right? Wood paneling everywhere. Wood paneling everywhere. So wherever you go, just about like public buildings in this show, you're going to see like plenty of wood paneling, plenty of wooden furniture, etc., etc. Everywhere except the high school. The high school is special. I'll show you when we get to it. So he's on his way to go fishing, right? I'm not seeing anything like, well, I was going to say that reminds me of the Shining. Actually, I do see things that remind me of The Shining. I don't want this to turn into a Shining analysis, though. These books on the shelf here, that reminds me a lot of all the books in the Torrance apartment before they moved to the Overlook Hotel. But I'll just leave that right there. Okay, so they seem to have like a pretty nice kitchen. They're wealthy. Okay, this family, this woman in particular, the sawmill is a great source of wealth, and they're part owners of it. So here he is, getting ready to go fishing, and he says something about, oh, a lonely foghorn. He hears a foghorn in the distance, and here's Jack Nance, and he's got his fishing pole and his thermos, I presume filled with coffee, and his little fishing box, and there's his house behind him on the right, and he's on his way down to the water to, cast his reel. All right, and then he gets down here, right? This is his house. He lives right close to where he's going to go fishing, and he gets down here, and he finds, as you can see, again, this thing is wonky, so I can't show you everything. This on the lower left of your screen, that's Laura Palmer's body wrapped in plastic. Okay, and her body is found by Pete Martell, Jack Nance's character, by the water here. She's emerged from the water. It looks like she floated, or she was washed downstream or whatever, and washed up onto this kind of rocky looking beach, and her body is found, as you can see in this frame, by Pete Martell next to this giant rock. Is this a rock, you all? I kept thinking it's a rock, but maybe it's not a rock. Maybe it's an old tree trunk. Oh, Lord, help me. Help me in the comments. Drop it in the comments. What is this, a rock or a tree trunk that Jack Nance's character, Pete Martell, is standing next to when he finds Laura Palmer's body wrapped in plastic? And just so you can see it a little better, this is like, oh, a little better my ass. I'm sorry. But, okay, let me try it this way. See? Like, this is what I call the rock. Now upon closer inspection, it looks more like a tree trunk, and this is her body wrapped in plastic, washed up on the shore. And he's like really shook up about this. He seems like Pete Martell seems like a really nice person, at least at this point in the series. And this is later on in the episode when like the police get there and whatever. Please check out the way her body is wrapped. Let me see if I can find. Oh, here it is. Let's hope for the best, huh? There we go. I want you to focus on this for a second. Look at this. Look at this. Look at... Yes, they don't know it's Laura Palmer yet, because her face is covered in the plastic, and Pete finds her lying face down, wrapped in the plastic on the shore of this river. Um, look at what's going on with her body from the waist down. Her legs from I think about the waist down. She's bound in tape, so her legs are bound together, which makes me think of like a mermaid. Right? She looks an awful lot like a mermaid, or like that, her binding her legs together reminds me a lot of, again, a mermaid. From the waist up, a mermaid, the body is human, and from the waist down, a mermaid's body is fish, right? So, Pete Martell did say he was going fishing. I guess he caught something. So I don't know what that's about, but I thought it was notable to like mention it, right? And here he is on the phone calling the police, and this is kind of what sets in motion Laura Palmer's death is what sets, and the discovery of her body by Pete Martell sets in motion like all of the events of the series. Okay. All right, I'm back. Had a little interruption. I'm sorry. I can't believe this. I finally get into making this video and then all kinds of interruptions, but never mind all that. So they barely just found the body. This man, Pete Martell, just barely found the body. And he's calling, I think, the police to come over there and see what the hell's going on. And then this is Harry S. Truman, I think the police chief in the town of Twin Peaks, and that the lady behind the glass, she's the telephone operator at the police station. Her name's Lucy. All right. And again, please just take note of how much wood paneling there is in this room. And the walls are blue, and the door is blue, but the paint, where there is paint, it's blue. Everything else is wood paneling. Ay. Is it just because this is a sawmill town, or is there something else going on? So again, this is the location where they found it. The man who's not wearing a hat, who's in the trench coat, that is the doctor, and he's the doctor who delivered Laura Palmer. Okay? And once again, is this a rock over here or a tree? I'm right now tending towards tree. Okay, so, they find her, and now they're turning her over, and they're kind of all, Pete is having a hard time looking. One of the policemen, Andy, he's very emotional. He can't, he's crying. And this is that iconic image of Laura Palmer after they unwrap her from the plastic. And she's dead. Okay. She's been in the water. She's, the color of her, skin on her face is just ghastly. And I want to say this now before I forget it. Like, I looked at this, and I looked at this iconic, homecoming queen portrait of her. Is it just me, you guys, or does her homecoming queen portrait also have like this kind of pallor going on? I mean, is David Lynch saying, okay, now in this scene, like she's dead, but she was dead before she died? I think that's what he's saying with this portrait, that she was dead before she died, and the life that she was living in this like creepy little town with all of these different people and whatever, like that's kind of what killed her. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. So yes, they find this, they find her, they turn her over, they confirm that it's her, and then we see, her mother in the kitchen of their home. And yes, y'all, if y'all were not alive, if y'all are like young, and you were born, after the year 2000 or whatever, and you're watching my video, yeah, this is like a typical kitchen from that time period. Look at all, again, more wood. Yeah, the kitchen cabinets are wooden. I mean, a lot of kitchen cabinets are wooden, But like nowadays, a lot of kitchen cabinets are particle board. But whatever. But the kitchen cabinets in the Palmer home are stained to look like natural wood. Okay, they're not painted. There's no coloring. There's no laminate, whatever. They just, you can see all the wood grain and everything on the kitchen cabinets. There's this very odd wreath hanging in the kitchen window above the sink. And this there, oh, look at the bird, y'all. Look at the bird. Ooh, I don't know what to think. I told you about that bird and how it's a harbinger of death. So make of that what you will. Then this is like the kitchen island. She's smoking a cigarette. And this is Laura Palmer's mother. I think her name's Sarah. And there's a coffee pot on the island. There's an ashtray. She's smoking her whatever cigarette. I don't know what brand. But she's got, and again, if you're a smoker, you would know that this is very similar to Wendy in The Shining. Like that scene I was talking about, where she's talking with the doctor woman. Like, where's the pack of cigarettes? Where's the lighter? Please don't tell me she walks around her house with a pack of cigarettes and a lighter in her pocket. Like, no, that's just not what smokers do. But never mind. So there's this odd wreath. Is this a wreath for like a funeral? Or is it supposed to remind you of a funeral wreath? And then there's this bird. Again, this is a very interesting bird. It reminds me of a bird that is found in a cave painting, a pretty famous cave painting from the Stone Age, right? And the character, Sarah Palmer, Laura's mother, is standing in front of it now, but we'll see it in a second. Some, breakfast products. And then there's this very odd little doll or figurine on the windowsill here. What is this supposed to represent? Does it look like a magician, like a Merlin kind of magician to you? I don't know, but it's there. It's there, and I know it seems like such an insignificant little detail, but there's really no such thing. There's really no such thing. Another thing that's catching my eye in this kitchen, there's this is an old-timey stove. They don't make them like this anymore. They used to be all over the place, but this kind of stove, and above the stove, like this combo thing. I don't know if that's a broiler or a microwave, like an old-timey, like early 1980s microwave above the stove. But if it is, it doesn't work because there's another microwave on the kitchen counter over here, which is just freaking odd. It's just odd. It's very odd. This whole thing. This is how we see her in the first episode. This is very odd. She's smoking a cigarette. The telephone over here on this little side table is yellow. And anyway, she's trying to call Laura to tell her, come on downstairs, get ready for school. And she goes up these stairs. And what I notice about this stair area is the ceiling fan. Okay, in the middle of this like upstairs hallway area, the ceiling fan. Why are the cords? Look at them. Why are the cords of the ceiling fan so long? And they're so uneven. Are you supposed to be able to turn the ceiling fan on from the first floor? Which would be really odd. And like, again, look at this. I know it's hard. Whenever I put my cursor over it, it darkens. But the cord on the left-hand side, as we're seeing it here, is, I guess, an okay normal length, but still kind of long. But this right cord is way, way, way too long, which is that's just weird. So the mother goes upstairs to see, is Laura in her room? Laura is not in her room. She's calling Laura to come downstairs and get ready for school. It's a school day. Laura's a high school student. And Laura isn't there. Okay, so she's, you can see in this little thing down here, she's going downstairs. She can't find Laura. She's calling Laura's, gosh, let me try and get it just perfect for you. Hold on. What I just noticed when trying to find the perfect angle of the kitchen shot where Laura's mom is calling her boyfriend's house to see where she is, you can't see it here, but in this shot, the ceiling fan is turned on. I don't think he was on a second ago when I showed it to you. Hold on. Yeah, it wasn't moving. I don't think it was. Hold on, let me pause and see because I don't want to get a copyright strike. Hold on. Okay, so I checked again. Yes, the ceiling fan was on. That was just my imagination, but the ceiling fan is really, really weird, and that whole upstairs area is really, really weird. Before the mom opens the door to Laura's room, it's a very dark hallway. Let's just put it that way. And now, what I wanted to sort of point out to you in this scene is the Quaker Oats and the Captain Crunch cereal. And I was telling somebody about this recently. I won't go into full detail, but they picked these brands for a reason. David Lynch picked these brands for a reason, just like I think Stanley Kubrick picked all the brands in the dry goods room at the Overlook Hotel for a reason. We got Quaker Oats and we got Captain Crunch on the counter of the kitchen. This is kind of interesting for me, to me. Quaker Oats, like, we all know that company. It's been around for a long time. Captain Crunch, we all know Captain Crunch too. Everybody loves Captain Crunch cereal. But did you know that Captain Crunch and Quaker Oats are made by the same company? Okay, and the Quaker Oats, like, should I call him a mascot? I don't know. But the guy on the box of the Quaker Oats, he's, well, a Quaker. And that's kind of all you need to know about him, at least for right now. On the Captain Crunch cereal box, the mascot of Captain Crunch cereal is a pirate. And Captain Crunch, his real name, the character's name, the cartoon character, his name is John Lafoot. All right, and he's based on an actual real pirate from the end of the 18th century and the beginning of the 19th century, who was named John Lafitte. All right, and I'll let you go ahead and research that on your own. But Laura's mother can't find her in the house. Now she's calling Laura's boyfriend's family. And this lady, the same lady who plays Mary in Eraserhead, she plays Laura's boyfriend's mother in Twin Peaks. All right, and that's her. That's Mary from Eraserhead. And I think the boyfriend's father, Bobby's father, is an Air Force captain of some kind. Okay, so, and this lady, who's playing the boyfriend's mother, the first time we see her in the show, she's wearing all black, this very, very black dress. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. But let me keep it moving. So, and they can't find, Laura's mother thinks that Laura's probably with her boyfriend, and they say no, that she's not. So, Laura's mother doesn't know that she's dead at this point, right? And so we go. The boyfriend's supposed to be at football practice. He's not at football practice. So the mom's going crazy calling everybody. And now we finally get to see the inside of the hotel in Twin Peaks. It's called the Great Northern Hotel. And the episode itself, the pilot episode, where is it? Is called Northwest Passage. It's called Pilot, and it's called Northwest Passage. And the hotel is called the Great Northern Hotel. Really, really interesting. And when they use the title Northwest Passage for the episode, they're trying to conjure certain historical images. Again, we would need to look them up to fully understand what's going on. Like Northwest Passage, I don't have time to look it up right now, but does that have to do with Lewis and Clark? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But look at the inside of this hotel. Okay? More wood. More wood. The walls are like a log cabin kind of deal. And then there are these two men I think one of them is Laura's father. I think the one who's sitting down and facing away from the audience is Laura's father. So, and this other guy standing up, I think his name is Ben Horn. Um, and anyway, so we've got the log cabin style walls, and we've got a fire going. So there's wood on the walls, and then there's wood being burned in the fireplace, and then we have this very large stone fireplace, and this niche above the hearth, I guess, part of the fireplace is a niche, but it's empty. Like where there should be, I guess, some artwork or, something, maybe a statue, maybe something. Completely empty, all stones, and completely empty here, which is interesting. But like they're trying to do like some kind of deal, like some kind of real estate deal at this hotel. And so they've got, these Norwegians here. This is Laura Palmer's father. This is, I guess, a meeting room in the hotel. More fireplace, more wood on the walls, and all of these things on the mantle. See, this mantle has stuff on it, all Native American stuff, which, ay, ay, ay. So, like these people here, the people who run this town, are mentioning and taking advantage of like the Native American heritage and showcasing Native American artifacts as the decor of this hotel. But like, I don't know, the only Native American person I've seen so far or know of so far in this cast of the show is like the deputy. I think he's a deputy, like the Hawk. That's his name. I'm not going to look it up now, but I think it says here, was it Hawk? Oh, no. No. Yeah, Tommy Hawk Hill. Tommy Hawk? Tomahawk? Seriously, they named him Tommy Hawk? Okay, cool. But okay, but like that's the only Native American, like really truly Native American character that I know of on the show so far. And they have all these Native American artifacts on the mantle. They're trying to sell, get these Norwegian people to purchase land. I think they might even be trying to like do some kind of dirty deal here. I don't know, but this is Laura Palmer's father, and his name is Leland. Okay. Really weird guy. The mom is still trying to locate Laura with no success. We already know she's dead, right? And there's, again, Quaker Oats and Captain Crunch in the background. Make of that what you will. I have my ideas, but I'm not prepared to share them here. And she's talking on a yellow phone. Whew. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very weird. And here's, where is it? Here's the dad. There he is. And so she's calling the dad at the hotel. And she's like, can't find Laura. And the dad's like, oh, she's probably with her boyfriend or whatever. And she's like, I called the boyfriend, called his family. They say she's not there. And like, he's not panicked yet. And the mom, as he's on the phone here, the police show up at this hotel to tell him that they found Laura. But the thing is, David Lynch did like a cute little trick here. Okay, so they're here. This is Sheriff Harry S. Truman, and he's there to tell the father that they discovered Laura's body washed up on that shore. Okay. And if I remember the dialogue correctly, oof, gosh, I hope I do. But this sheriff guy, he doesn't even tell Laura's father that she's dead. He just walks up to... Let me watch it really quick, just to make sure, so I don't lie to you. But you'll see where I'm going with this in a second. Okay, I reviewed the footage. It's what I thought it was. So he's on the phone with Laura's mother. The dad is on the phone with the mom, and the mom is like, I can't find her anywhere or whatever. And the sheriff shows up at the reception counter looking for Laura's dad, and the reception lady, she says, "Oh, he's over there." And then the sheriff walks up to him and says, Leland. And he doesn't say anything. He doesn't say that they found Laura's body. He doesn't say that Laura's dead. He just says, Leland. And then the father says, "Is this about Laura?" And the sheriff says, "I'm afraid it is." And that's it. Then he drops the phone, and the wife is on the other line, like screaming her head off. But the sheriff just said, "I'm afraid it is." And that's it. He doesn't say, the sheriff does not say, "Leland, your daughter is dead." He doesn't say, "Leland, Laura is dead." He just says, "I'm afraid it is." When he says, when Leland asks, "Is it about Laura?" And he just starts with the hysterics, the dry crying. There's no tears. And he, the guy, Ben Horn, walks out of the conference room and he says, "We've got people waiting in there." And then Leland says, "My daughter's dead." Wait a minute, Leland. The sheriff did not tell you that your daughter is dead. The sheriff said, "Yeah, it's about Laura," but he doesn't say, "Yeah, we found her body washed up on the riverbank." No, he doesn't say none of that. But Leland already knows that Laura is dead. Interesting, no? Yeah, and I don't know whether or not I should do spoilers or whatever, but I didn't do the spoiler. David Lynch did. Okay, so Leland already knows that his daughter is dead without the sheriff. The sheriff's not there for a good reason, but he doesn't like Leland. He's the father. Like, what kind of father is just going to automatically assume when they see a policeman and the policeman has something to tell him about his kid? Like, what kind of parent is going to just automatically jump to, "Oh, my kid's dead"? No, they're going to be like, "Oh, are they in jail? Is my kid in jail? Okay, have they been in an accident? Something like that." They're not going to just jump right to, "Oh, yeah, oh, no, shit, my kid's dead." And that's what Leland does. So something tells me that Leland knows already that Laura is dead. Like, the sheriff doesn't even need to tell him flat out. Leland says, "Is this about Laura?" The sheriff says, "I'm afraid so." And that's it. And he already knows. And when the guy asks him, he says, "My daughter's dead." Ooh, and dry crying. And there's the mom going crazy. And the mom. But that's the same thing with the mom, kind of. Like the mom. But the mom she's alone at home. She's not performing for anybody. There aren't people there. Like, she's all by herself at home. And she's, hysterical. Of course she is. But at the same time, like, nobody told her daughter's dead either. The husband didn't tell her. The husband dropped the phone before he had a chance to say, "Yeah, the sheriff came and Laura's dead." But the mom is like jumping to conclusions too. And it's like, why? Why are both of her parents automatically assuming that she's dead? Like, why are they not assuming that she's simply like in jail, or like in the drunk tank or whatever? Very suspicious. And again, Quaker Oats, this like typical late 1980s kitchen. And then we go over to the Double R Diner. This is Shelley, and this is like the town diner. This is Laura's boyfriend, Bobby. A lot of these characters in this show are just really quite detestable, each in varying degrees. right? They're not nice people. They're not good people. So this is supposed to be Laura's boyfriend, the quarterback, the football star. And he's obviously messing around behind her back with Shelley. Shelley is married. I think she's married to Leo. Leo's just no good. But Leo's supposed to be out of town. Leo's a trucker. And, Bobby, Laura's boyfriend, and Shelley are carrying on. And they're driving to Shelley's house, and they think that Leo is out of town, but apparently he's not. There's his truck, and then they make a quick getaway. He leaves her on the side of the road, and then he drives the fuck away because he doesn't want to suffer Leo's wrath. Here is the police station. Here's Leland gets to see Laura's body in the coroner's office, and more dry crying from the father. It just, his face is contorted and everything, but there are no tears. There are no tears. They could have done it. They could have made, this is Hollywood and everything. They could have found some tears, but there's no tears coming from the father character. So I find that very interesting. Here is Donna, played by, what's her name? Laura Flynn Boyle, at the high school. And what I wanted to point out about this high school is, I'll show you in a second. This is the morning in the high school where they make the announcement about they found Laura dead, which is interesting to me. Why are they just announcing it right away at the beginning of the school day? They could just not talk about it because, she's dead. And I would assume it's a sensitive situation. They're probably curious about, how she died, right? And, it's probably a murder, especially based on the way she was found. Why are they making the announcement? Why, on the day of? Very, very shoddy police procedure, if you ask me. But look at the hallways of this high school. Look at all these red stripes all over the place. In the hallways of this. There's no wood. There's no wood paneling in the high school. I guess because that would be ridiculous. But these red stripes, they probably symbolize blood. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, this is maybe David Lynch's nod to Stanley Kubrick, at least in this part of the movie. Again, here's the quarterback boyfriend, Bobby, and his friend. I forget what his friend's name is. This guy in the red jacket is Donna's boyfriend, and Bobby is Laura's boyfriend. So these are the cool kids. These are the popular kids in high school. Laura's the homecoming queen. I assume her boyfriend, the star football player, is homecoming king and whatever. And by the way, which I'm just talking this through like I always do, this just made me think of Carrie again. Okay, Piper Laurie is in here. That's Carrie's mother, playing Catherine Martell. But also Laura Palmer as the homecoming queen. Isn't that doesn't Carrie in the movie Carrie? Does she get crowned prom queen or homecoming queen? It kind of doesn't matter. It's like a high school thing that involves a crown. Okay, so and then Laura Palmer is the homecoming queen in this movie, and then Carrie, or this show rather, and Carrie, Sissy Spacek in Carrie is crowned prom queen in Carrie. And then there's this blood everywhere in the high school. Is this is this another nod to Brian De Palma's movie, Carrie, with the pig's blood, which, again, like I said, I believe that Stanley Kubrick is at least partially citing that same blood from the movie Carrie in The Shining when it comes out of the elevator. And then here it is, here are these red stripes going down the hallways of the high school where Laura's homecoming queen in Twin Peaks. I'm just saying. And this guy and the school's colors are obviously red. This dude, Donna's boyfriend, what's his face, is wearing a Letterman jacket. The Letterman jacket is red. Bobby is not wearing a Letterman jacket. He's wearing, I don't know if that's leather or something else, but it's not red. And again, this dude here in the foreground is wearing red. The school's colors are red. There's red stripes all over the hallways, and everything is trimmed in red at this school. Very, 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 very weird. This is Audrey Horn. This is Ben Horn's daughter. She's a little troublemaker, but I think she becomes more and more important as a character as the show progresses. And again, inside of the classroom, I don't see red. I don't see any wood paneling, none of that. But they're just there, but the thing that Audrey does, which is interesting, when she gets to school, like she's wearing saddle shoes when she gets to school, and I'm trying to find like the exact thing. She changes, Audrey's character changes her saddle shoes to these red pumps when she gets to school. I guess her parents don't want her dressing like this at school, but she does anyway. Okay, so like I told you, she's a little troublemaker. All right, so this dude comes in, like from the sheriff's office, while they're taking roll in, I guess, homeroom, right? And the sheriff, oh, where is the damn thing? He makes the announcement that all right, I'm back. Another interruption. But that's okay. The interruption caused me to take a look at this scene a little bit better. It looks like, just the teacher calling roll right before the sheriff walks in, or the deputy or whatever walks in to announce Laura's death, which again I think is very suspicious. They shouldn't be announcing it this early, especially if it's an investigation. But never mind. I don't know nothing about police procedure. But I'm looking at this teacher. She's taking roll. All right. And what I see on the desk is a red book. Okay. I see a red book on this desk, and that's very suspicious. Very suspicious. Also, look at the chalkboard. They don't have these in schools anymore. I can tell you that. I know that for a fact. They don't have chalkboards in schools anymore. The desk itself, again, there's a wood grain that you can see on the desk. The teacher is wearing a red shirt underneath her sweater, and there's a red algebra book on on her desk, which is interesting, don't you think? If you're a shining aficionado. Also, look at the chalkboard. What does it say there? It says PP. That's the way they used to say pages. 313 to 314, and then underneath it says 1 through 42, all. ALL. Once again, if you're a shining aficionado, that should stick out to you. That's all I'm going to say about it. Anyway, moving on. So the sheriff walks in, tells, you can see down here the sheriff walking in, and then we see, for some reason, like there's this girl that runs across this lawn on the outside of the school, and she's screaming. That is never explained, at least not in the episode. And the students and everybody realize that they're talking about Laura, and we get a shot of Laura's empty desk, and what do you know? The chair is red. Oh my God. This is really interesting. Really, 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 really interesting. Again, I just showed you the chalkboard, the red book on the desk, on the teacher's desk. Very weird. And then all of her, her secret boyfriend, that's her secret boyfriend, James. And he breaks the pencil when he hears the news. Pencil's made of wood, just to let you know. And Donna starts crying. Okay, this is her best friend, Donna. She's wearing not plaid, but like this checkerboard kind of shirt. I don't know. Really, really weird. Anyway, and then they're having this. They're holding Bobby at this in the school's library of all places. Again with the red on the walls. That looks red to me anyway. In the background. Oh, very weird. They're thinking that Bobby has something to do with it. And I'll just like cut to the chase. Agent Cooper quickly determined, and Bobby's wearing a red shirt under his jacket too, which is really, really interesting. And again, the red in the background. And it says looking, not looking, but looking for adventure. Oh, wow. David Lynch pulled out all the stops. Okay, so Bobby is vehemently denying his involvement. Then the principal's making an announcement and canceling classes for the day. And again, look at these hallways in the school. All these red stripes running down the hallways. That's blood. I mean, symbolically, that's blood. There's blood everywhere. There's vents. I covered that in one of my videos about the vents in The Shining. Well, lo and behold, there are vents in Twin Peaks too. Interesting. I don't know if these vents are significant the way I think that the vents are significant in The Shining, but, you know, they're there. So there's that. Okay, and again, I cannot do this the same way that I do The Shining, but I'm gonna try here and there. So look at this. This is the trophy case in the high school, and look at all the trophies, probably for athletic things, I assume. And then the centerpiece of the trophy case is Laura's homecoming queen portrait. And the case, like I said, there's these red stripes on the walls of the hallway, and the trophy case itself is framed in red. And there's like these handlebars. What the hell is this? Like, I don't know what this is. Like, in front of the trophy case. Is that so people don't get too close to it? Or whatever, but it's red too. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. But Laura was obviously a very popular girl. And here's her homecoming picture, right? There she is. Like I said, to me, even in this portrait, she has a pallor. To me, that and the background of the trophy case is red too. Wow. Anyway, she looks like she was dead before she was dead. At least in this portrait. I don't know what to think. I just don't know what to think. Her eyes look dead. Her skin has that like bluish look, just like it does when they find her body. Ooh, see, like her neck and like the top of her shoulders and this looks like a nice healthy color, but the face looks washed out. And like I said, and the lips look almost exactly the same as the image of her when they find her in the plastic on the riverbank. I don't know. And then there they are in the house. The mom is having a hard time. There's Laura's portrait on the table again. And there's the sheriff sitting down, the sheriff's deputy Andy, the doctor who delivered her. Wow. And the doctor who delivered her is also Donna's father. So there's that, right? This living room is organized like really weird. Like, why is this couch like skewed? This is very odd. And the mom is like in grief. She's having a hard time. So there's that. And they show a picture of the mom, and when the mom's talking about, like, they're asking her questions, there's another portrait of Laura behind the mom's head, which is interesting. But it's not the homecoming portrait. It's a black and white portrait. Very, very, very interesting. Oh, wow. And then a picture of Laura, I assume as a little girl, like in the gold frame. Very, very, very interesting. And there they are upstairs. There's her father in her bedroom. This is Laura's bedroom. That's her writing desk. That's like a little wicker rocking chair. And then there's on the floor, there's this box. This is Thomas or Tom Hawk. That's like I said, the only Native American character that I can think of. And they're going through Laura's stuff, and they're, I guess, gathering evidence. And in Laura's room, oh shit! Look at this on the wall, like close to the window, and like this part of the wall and this part of the wall here. You'll see it when I move my cursor again. Sconces. Sconces, once again, that mimic candles. Make of that what you will. And remember the sitting ducks at the beginning of the opening credits. There's this white, I don't know if this is a duck or a goose on the floor, and the goose is wearing a scarf. So is this some kind of mythological thing again? Like I said, I think that this show is chock full of mythology of all kinds. So I would need to look up, like, I would need to look up the mythology. Is this... Oof, something is... Does the goose symbolize Laura? Is it a goose or is it a swan? I don't think it's a duck. Its neck is too long to be a duck. There on the floor. So if Laura is Venus, maybe, like, I need to look up mythology where Venus changes into like another creature. Or maybe it's not Venus. Maybe it's, the father character. Maybe he's symbolizing these Greek mythological, like, patriarchs, like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus. Like I said, Venus's father is Uranus. Does that make Leland Uranus? So is he the goose? Does he transform into, like, some other creature? I need to look that up. I really need to look that up. But, like, they find her diary and, like, all this other stuff in her room. The father, again, he looks like he's in shock. Okay. All right. And what I also notice about Laura's bedroom, her bed is facing the wrong way. Okay? Her bed is facing the wrong... The headboard of her bed is in the wrong direction. The bed should be turned around, and the foot of the bed should be closest to the door, because that's, like, just what you do. Like, the point of that is to, like, if somebody busts into your room, so you can be ready to meet them, greet them, fight them, whatever. So Laura's bed is not like that. So, she didn't see any of this coming. Or, her death was probably a surprise to her. Also, look at her bedding. There's all the flowers on her blanket. Really interesting. Really, 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 really interesting. But let me keep going. I can't do this for every scene, because this video would be like 3 hours long. I've already passed the 1 hour mark. So here's again her mom having trouble with all of this, and then back to the sawmill, and Jocelyn makes the decision to stop work for the day because of the announcement of Laura's death. Catherine is not happy with this, but Jocelyn doesn't really care, because I don't think Catherine is, like, really an owner of the sawmill. I think Jocelyn is the one, Joan Chen's character is the one who makes decisions about this kind of thing. So anyway, they make a decision to stop work, and one of the sawmill's employees is Ronette Pulaski's father. And then here comes Ronette. As you can see, this kind of haunting image in its own right of Ronette walking back into the United States from Canada on this bridge, and it looks like she's been through a lot. Okay. Really, really, really interesting imagery. Okay, there she is. And she's been through God knows what. She looks like she's got, possibly cigarette burns on her body. Her clothes are a mess. Her hair is a mess. Her face is a mess. It's weird. And you can't see it in this shot, but she has ropes tied around her wrists. So there, you can see it in the little thumbnail down there. But she was with Laura, the night of the murder. There's the ropes. So, and there's blood on her clothes. Like, who knows what happened. And then James, her boyfriend, or her secret boyfriend, stops off at the gas station. So the place where Shelley works, the Double R Diner, is owned by a woman named Norma. This guy's having an affair with Norma. He's married to the lady with the eye patch. Okay, she's a little weird. She's a little funny. And so he's, this is the part of the episode where we get introduced to Agent Dale Cooper. He's from the FBI. He always talks into this cassette recorder. He addresses somebody named Diane. Diane, I think, is his secretary back at the, home office in Philadelphia. Okay, and he's walking through, driving through, the roads leading up to Twin Peaks, and he says, whatever he says to Diane, and he says, oh, these trees, they're everywhere, these gorgeous trees are everywhere. So he's fascinated by the trees. So this Dale Cooper character, he's really weird, he's really eccentric, and look at him, black suit, white shirt, black tie. He's dressed like a Mormon. Okay, I'm Gershom, I hope you're listening. He's dressed like a Mormon. He look at this. This is so weird. And again, he's telling Diane about, he's approaching this for the first time, and he's telling Diane about these amazing trees that he really wants to know what kind of trees they are. He seems like an eccentric nut. He isn't. He's a very intelligent character. He very quickly figures out in this episode who didn't do it. But, it's the introduction of this Dale Cooper character is interesting. He's from the FBI, and the FBI is being called in because Ronette crossed a state line to come back into the United States because the murder, I guess the murder happened in Canada. They're 5 miles south of the Canadian border. Twin Peaks is 5 miles south of the Canadian border and 12 miles west of the easternmost border of Washington State. So that gives you an idea where they are. So he's coming in here to sort of... And plus, Laura's murder, it mimics very closely the murder of another girl like a year earlier. So that's why he's here. That's why the police are not enough to be able to handle this situation on their own. So here he is, and he meets with Sheriff Truman for the first time. And they get along, which is good. Look at all of these exit signs. Look at all of these exit signs. My God. Again, just like the Overlook Hotel in The Shining. Also, I want to remark before I forget it. This drive that he takes, when he's first entering Twin Peaks, it reminds me a lot of the drive that the Torrance family is making on their way to the Overlook Hotel with all those trees and all the greenery surrounding them as they're driving up the mountain in their yellow Volkswagen Beetle. Just saying. Okay, so Dale Cooper comes in, takes over as an FBI agent. First thing he wants to do is see Ronette. And Ronette is kind of like she's in a comatose state. She's got all these marks on her face and whatever. Really, really weird, really interesting. They're not doing a whole lot regarding Ronette. I don't think Ronette can talk at this point. But Ronette, her father works at the sawmill. So Laura's family is obviously a wealthy family. Her father is, I think Leland Palmer is a lawyer. And we're dealing with like the upper crust of society, at least in the town of Twin Peaks. So all of this has to do with Laura's family is wealthy. Donna's family, her father's I guess the town doctor. I don't know. There's, these people who own the sawmill, the Martell family and the Packard family. There's the Great Northern Hotel is owned by Ben Horn. These are all the like big money making places in the town, and they're all owned by like a handful of people. And those handful of people that own the things, the lawyers and the whatever, are basically working in service to them. So Ronette is, her father's, her family is working class. Her father's just an ordinary worker at the sawmill. So she seems like an afterthought. I mean, she's alive. That's wonderful. Laura's dead. But it seems like Ronette doesn't really matter to these people because she's not from a wealthy family. That's just my assessment of it. So they get into this elevator. They're trying to avoid this guy who's played by Russ Tamblyn. He's Laura's the guy. He has these weird, like, I don't know what the hell they are. Are these like earplugs in his ears or whatever? But he's very odd, and he's a psychiatrist. And Laura was seeing him. He tells them that she was seeing him before she died. So I don't know what the hell that is in his ears. He takes one out of his other ear, I guess, so he can hear these people. But he's the psychiatrist. And again, Russ Tamblyn was in the movie The Haunting. So the one that I keep mentioning from 1963 with Julie Harris, and the book, the book that was adapted into the movie The Haunting was written by Shirley Jackson, somebody that is considered like a heavyweight with regard to the horror writing genre. Anyway, so there's that. There's the door is yellow. Behind him, is he a coward? He doesn't seem like a very good person. He seems terrible. But, that's just my assessment. Here they are in the room with Laura's body, and this is where Agent Cooper finds the little letter R under her nail on her ring finger. Very interesting. Okay, then we get back to, oh, good Lord. So, Dale, he's a very eccentric kind of person. And if he's like a representation of the FBI, like I think just about every FBI agent we see in this show is going to be eccentric and weird, okay? But very intelligent. So I don't know what's going on. Here's Donna again. Okay, she's wearing red too. What the hell? Like, what is up with all this red in this show? Again, I think he's taken a page out of Stanley's book with all the red. Y'all let me know what you think. Anyway, Donna is at the gas station. James left a message for her. This is Donna's abusive boyfriend. This guy and Bobby, Laura's boyfriend, just abusive jerks. And again, he's wearing red too. So James left a message for Donna at this gas station with I think his name is Ed, the guy who owns the gas station, who's having an affair with Norma, the lady who owns the Double R diner. This is the Twin Peaks Sheriff's Department. Lord. And there they are inside of the Sheriff's Department. And these are Laura's things that they found in her room that they're examining. I don't know what to make of it. Again, the table is wood. The walls are not made of wood, but the table is wood. And I see some red on this table. Are those red books? Her diary is green, but the thing underneath it is red. Very interesting. Again, Cooper, he keeps making notes. He opens her diary. These people, they said they couldn't open her diary because they didn't have a key. Agent Cooper just breaks the lock. And he's like, okay, done. And he's reading her diary, and he finds a little plastic bag with a key in it, and he says into his tape recorder that he finds a little plastic bag, that inside the bag is a white residue, and there's a key in there, a key to a safety deposit box. Okay. And he says to Sheriff Truman, he says, I have a hunch that if we run this bag and the white residue, that it will test positive for cocaine. And the sheriff's like, no, not Laura. And he's like, so they find the place where the murder took place, this train car. Oh, why can't I just get things to do what I want them to do? There it is. This is where the murder took place, in this abandoned train car in the middle of the woods, right off the train tracks. I guess that's why Ronette just followed the train tracks to get back to Twin Peaks. It's Andy, the deputy, he's having a hard time with it again. This lady is his girlfriend. Very weird. Very weird. Very weird. Why? I mean, the location of this murder is a train car. What does that mean symbolically? Because I'm analyzing this symbolically. I'm not just looking at the surface narrative of the story. What is going on? Why in an old abandoned train car? Because like I said, I think I've said in my recent videos that I believe that David Lynch is rendering a negative commentary about the military-industrial complex and war in general. And I said, this town, whether or not it looks like it, the fact that it's a logging town, wood has been and continues to be a material that is used to build things that do have to do with putting humankind into a box, literally and figuratively, our houses are wooden boxes. People get buried when they die in wooden boxes. And I talked about, again, industry in general. And most of our industries, the big ones, minerals and exploitation of natural resources, a lot of those things go towards funding the war machine. And then these trains, which are not obsolete, people don't travel on trains as much as they used to. Everybody travels on airplanes now. But back in the day, people traveled on trains. But you know what does travel on trains? Natural resources. Big piles of minerals, wood, whatever. That's how these things are still to this day transported. Train cars. So, ay. like I said, and this is interesting. This is just really interesting to me, what I think he's saying and how I think he's saying it. So anyway, Dale Cooper has Bobby come in, and they're in this like interrogation room, and why can I not get like a good shot of Bobby? Anyway, but if, as you can see in this little thumbnail down here, there's wood paneling behind Bobby when he's getting interrogated by Dale Cooper. And then Dale Cooper types something into his little device here that looks like a calculator, and I don't think I'll be able to get the shot, but he types a little message meant for Harry Truman, the sheriff sitting next to him, and the message is basically, he didn't do it. So Dale Cooper can tell pretty quickly that Bobby is not the one who murdered Laura. Okay, but he still thinks like they need to keep an eye on Bobby. Anyway, this is like the video of Laura and Donna on a picnic, and at this point in the show, they're not saying who shot this video footage of them on a picnic. Bobby becomes like very suspicious and jealous, because even though he's cheating on Laura with Shelley, like Laura is officially his girlfriend, and therefore I guess he considers her his property. Even though he's cheating on her, he doesn't really love her. But like he realizes that there's a third party, um, shooting this footage, and they do a close up to not Donna, no, Laura's eye, and Bobby sees something when they do a close up to Laura's eye. He realizes something. Basically, I'll just explain it to you. Reflected in Laura's eye is an image of a motorcycle. So whoever shot the footage of Donna and Laura at this little picnic is somebody who rides a motorcycle. And Dale Cooper figures that out pretty quickly, and so does Bobby. He just doesn't say it out loud. The sheriff needs help. The sheriff doesn't figure things out as quickly as Dale Cooper. Here's Audrey again, causing trouble. And they remember those Norwegian investors near the beginning of the episode before they announced Laura's death. They're supposed to be investing money in Twin Peaks. I think they're trying to build a resort of some kind. Again, possibly, if I might be mistaken about this, but possibly on the site where they're trying to squeeze out that sawmill so they can build this, resort. Why does that remind me so much of the Overlook Hotel, this resort that they want to build? I don't know. But Audrey is, again, Ben Horn's daughter. She's a troublemaker daughter. And they say, they don't want the Norwegians to find out about Laura's death, because then they won't want to invest in the project. And they say that in front of Audrey, and Audrey's a troublemaker. She makes trouble for her family. She pours coffee all over the papers here when she pulls the pencil out of the styrofoam cup. Oh, good Lord. And again, look, check out the wood behind them on the walls. Check out the Native American designs. I don't know, it's some kind of bird, but it's a close-up, so you can't see it very well. So that's the decor of these public buildings in Twin Peaks. Lots and lots of wood, lots and lots of wood paneling, and lots of Native American, Pacific Northwest Native American artwork, designs, and what have you. Please don't tell me you can't see the similarities between that and the Overlook Hotel and The Shining. But anyway, and this concierge lady, she's wearing a red jacket. Good God. Good God. And then, oh, look at this. On the table, there's this mysterious box. I don't know what they keep in there, but it's made of wood. And I know it's facing away from us, the viewer, but this statue or paperweight or whatever this is on the desk looks an awful lot like an eagle, at least to me. I know that they do, in fact, have a lot of bald eagles in this part of the United States, so y'all let me know. So there's this meeting that the Norwegians are having in this room. Again, look at all of this wood. Look at this clock on the wall. She's wearing her saddle shoes again. There's these candles. I don't know whether or not this is a menorah. Help me out if you know like how many candles there's supposed to be on a menorah. I don't think it's a menorah, but then again, I am ignorant, so I'm not gonna I can't rely on my own knowledge regarding that kind of stuff. It's very limited. My knowledge is very limited. And then they have like this weird thing. Are these coffee pots? What the hell is this on this hutch here with the drawers and everything? And this one on the right side, check it out. There goes another eagle. Let me move the cursor so you can see it. Look at that. On the hutch, this vessel on the right, there is an eagle on that. And the centerpiece is these candles. Again with the candles. What is up with Stanley Kubrick and David Lynch and these candles? And all this wood. And the color red. And oh my God. What is going on? Anyway, so Audrey, she says that, oh, she's so, they notice her, all these are all men in this room, and they notice her because she's young and she's pretty. And all the men, they're writing notes at this meeting, and they all stop writing notes and they all turn and look at her and check out the eagle over here. We get kind of a little bit of close up on it. Again, is this an espresso machine? What is going on with this thing? I don't know. But there's an eagle on top. And there she is, and she says she's so sad because her friend Laura was found dead that morning. After the guy, holding the meeting asks her, "Young lady, why are you here? What are you doing here?" And they say, she's messing up her dad's business deal. She's a troublemaker. And here's Bobby after the interrogation with his friend, Donna's boyfriend, or Donna's official boyfriend, wearing his red jacket. They're both a couple of assholes. You automatically just don't like either of them. And then in the background, this guy, this is Bobby's father. He's the Air Force captain, I think. And there's the mom again, the lady who played Mary in Eraserhead. And there's the dad. He doesn't resemble his mother or his father, at all. And the dad, this guy, the bald guy, in the black coat, he looks an awful. He just the actor who plays him, and I think maybe this is why David Lynch chose him. The Bobby's dad, the Air Force captain, he looks an awful lot like L. Ron Hubbard to me. I'm just saying. And then another exit sign. Ah, good heavens. And this other guy with the mustache is the family's lawyer. So, again, these are very well-connected people. These are very wealthy people. We're dealing with, the top of the totem pole, figuratively and literally, in Twin Peaks. So here's Agent Cooper. He's talking to Donna. She refuses to tell him who shot that video of her and Laura at the picnic. Again, notice the wood paneling behind her. For whatever reason, she refuses to tell Agent Cooper that it was James, the guy who was crying in the classroom and broke the pencil when they announced Laura's death. She's in love with James, and James is in love with her. But James was Laura's, secret boyfriend. So, there's that. And Donna is the only one that I've seen so far, other than Laura's mother, Sarah. Donna seems to be the only one that's, actually crying about Laura's death. Everybody else seems to be, the mom is just, she's having trouble with it. She's having, a psychotic sort of reaction to it. The dad, no tears at all. The boyfriend doesn't really seem all that shook up either. The people who seem really shook up about Laura's death are her best friend, Donna, that you see now on the screen, and the guy who found her, Pete Martell, and her doctor who delivered her, Donna's father, and I forget what his name is. Oh, I don't know if I should look it up later or whatever. But we also, what I want to mention at this point, see these pictures on the wall, these black and white pictures of men who are probably dead. Again, very reminiscent of all those black and white pictures all over the Overlook Hotel at The Shining. But this guy at the bottom wearing like the fedora, his likeness is on like that stone thing, like that sculpture or whatever it is, in front of the sheriff's office. And here we see him again. Like, who is he? Who was he in the history of this town? Obviously somebody very important, because we keep seeing his picture. And like the same picture, the sculpture or whatever in front of the sheriff's office is based on this photograph of him. I don't know who he is, but obviously seems like one of the, one of the very important people in the history of this town. Anyway, so they let Donna go. Here's James, having, trouble with Laura's death, and he rides a motorcycle, and Laura gave him the other half of a locket or a necklace with a heart shape. It's like a broken heart, and he gave her half, and she said, that she's so happy because he really loves her. Anyway, so here's Audrey. She made a mess, and all the Norwegian people are leaving, and the concierge lady is saying, the Norwegians are leaving, the Norwegians are leaving, which sounds very reminiscent to Paul Revere crying, the British are coming, the British are coming. That, well, we all learned in school from the Revolutionary War, but instead of that, she's saying the Norwegians are leaving. Very interesting. What is David Lynch doing here? Anyway, here comes Dale Cooper and Sheriff Truman to the train car where the murder happened. Again, this train car looks very, very old. This is not a modern day train car. It looks like it has designs that are like go all the way back to maybe even the 1930s or something like that. Very, very, very odd. Why is it so old? Why does it look to be a train car from like that era, from like much, much earlier in the 20th century? I don't know, but that's how it looks to me. And like the roof of the train car seems to be covered in like some kind of plastic just to prevent it from leaking, from to prevent the rain from getting in there. Really creepy. But again, this is symbolic of something. I don't know what it's symbolic of, but the train car and the trains themselves are symbolic of something that have to do with industry, and I guess specifically transportation. Transportation of people, transportation of raw goods, natural resources, what have you. So, they walk in here and they find, again, one half of this locket. There's blood everywhere. Okay, and there's a little, like I said, there's blood everywhere. There's the half of the locket, and then there's this little piece of paper that says, I want to show that to you. It says Fire Walk with Me, which is the name of the movie that David Lynch made after the second season of Twin Peaks finished, because it was canceled after the second season, which I don't know why that happened. Maybe it wasn't meant to go on for too many seasons. I have no idea. But the movie is called Fire Walk with Me, and this little piece of paper that says fire, and the way Agent Cooper pronounces it, he doesn't say Fire Walk with Me, he says Fire Walk with Me. So that's an interesting clue. Your first instinct is to pronounce this Fire Walk with Me, but no, like the way Agent Cooper pronounces it, that's like, I guess, the right way to say it in the context of what we're looking at in this show. Fire, pause, walk with me. So fire seems to be personified. a personification, or the fire seems to be a character of some kind. Okay. Who or what is the fire? And did Laura write this as she was being abused or whatever in this train car? And the other half of the heart necklace is found here. What the hell is going on? This is and again, it's written in blood. I tell you, we keep seeing red in this in this show. Okay, here's her secret boyfriend James with the other half of the locket. He doesn't know what to do with it. You know, he's depressed, whatever. And again, we see we see that waterfall again, like I told you about the mythology regarding Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Venus. Like Venus is a product of the foam, and I already told you what the foam means. I think I did anyway. Anyway, so we cut over to the Great Northern Hotel, which is where I think the Horn family lives. This is Ben Horn's wife. This is Audrey, his daughter. They're having what looks like, I don't know, scones or biscuits or whatever with butter and some coffee. Again, check out all the wood in this room. Oh, my God. And then Audrey has a brother named, I can't remember his name right now, but the brother is taking Laura's death very hard. Let me get to exactly that point and show you. I also wanted to show you this. This on the upper left of the screen is the Great Northern Hotel, and this is the waterfall that I told you about. This is the river. It leads to this waterfall. There's the foam that, again, I think is Uranus's sperm, which is where Venus comes from. So this water that produces this waterfall with lots and lots of white foam is right next to the Great Northern Hotel. Is this where, you know, some horrible things happen in this hotel? I don't know, but let me find the other thing that I want to show you. Okay, this is it. This is Audrey's older brother. He is it seems that anyway, at least at this point in the show, at this point in the story, he's developmentally disabled. And he's, you know, Laura, I told you her daytime life, she was an absolute angel. She would tutor this guy who's in his 20s, but he's like in the 3rd grade, so he's developmentally disabled. And she would come and, like, you know, tutor him or teach him or read to him or whatever every day. And she's not coming today because she's dead. And this guy, the brother, Audrey's brother, is not taking it well. This is obviously his bedroom. Again, all of these beds are facing away from the entryway of the room. But there's this, like, little house, yeah? In his bedroom, there's this lion, which is interesting, and he's wearing a Native American headdress. All right, and the carpet underneath him is a Native American patterned or designed carpet, rug, whatever. Really interesting. Is this a red ball on his bed? I don't know. But he keeps slamming his head into this little, like, dollhouse, and the sound, you're gonna have to watch this on your own, find a way to watch it. The sound of this guy slamming, I think maybe his name's Jimmy or something, I'm not sure, but he's slamming his head up against this wall, up against this house while wearing this Native American headdress. The sound of this is very similar to the sound of that tennis ball as it's being thrown up against the wall in the Colorado Lounge by Jack Torrance in The Shining. I just had to tell you about that. And again, look at this guy's room. Look at it. There's the lion. There's the little dollhouse. There's, where is it? The little model airplane hanging from the ceiling. And this over here, which is very weird, it looks an awful lot like a little demon doll. I don't know what to think of it. It seems to have horns. I mean, the family's name is Horn. So, I don't know. I just don't know. But, like, again, this son, this developmentally disabled son, he's dressed, like a Native American. And he's, again, in his 20s, I think like 23 or something, I'm not sure. But he's still in the 3rd grade, I guess, intellectually. And all of these curtains are closed in his room. What in the world is going on? So I don't think this character gets enough attention, but very, very weird. And again, the sound of his head slamming up against this dollhouse is, again, very similar. As you can see, this is the inside of the dollhouse. Oh my. I don't know what to think. Is the inside of the dollhouse like mimicking the inside of his room? I'm not sure. But very, very odd. Very, very odd. Okay. And this is his nurse. This lady over here is the brother's nurse. And he refuses to accept that Laura's not coming back. So, again, very, very odd. And again, these two, Audrey and the mom, are drinking out of cups that look like they belong to like that blue willow china pattern. Wow. Okay. So here we go again. Here they are again at the police station. No, this is not at the police station. No, they're getting Laura's safety deposit box at the bank. So she had a safety deposit box. There's this animal head on the table, obviously symbolic of something, if you ask me. They ask her, like, why is this on the table? And she says, oh, it fell off the wall. I think that there's maybe some kind of unraveling going on, like for this animal head to fall off of the wall and onto the table with these horns. I don't know what kind of animal this is. Is this an elk? It's not a moose. It doesn't look like a moose. But it looks... Is it an elk? Help me. Tell me. The fact that it falls off the wall, and in the context of everything that's going on in this episode, like Laura's death and all of the stuff that we're seeing, this is symbolic of something. This is symbolic of somebody or something being taken down a notch, because a hunting this animal head is a hunting trophy, and a hunting trophy, hunting trophies, and using the odious practice, in my opinion, of like displaying body parts of animals as some kind of trophy to, like, signal some kind of achievement on the part of the person who allegedly hunted down and killed this animal. That's been a part of humankind and human activity since day one. Hunting trophies have been around since day one. And maybe David Lynch is saying, yeah, that's part of the problem. Because, again, I really need to get into, like, prehistory and Mesopotamia again. But, like, in all these cultures, hunting was a big deal. And, like, a leader or a ruler or a king or somebody would signify their importance by wearing animal parts, whether it was a helmet that had horns coming out of it, or animal teeth, or animal skin, or whatever. That was their way of saying, like, I deserve to be the boss of all of you because I successfully hunted down and killed, in some cases with their own bare hands. That's how the story goes. They killed the animal. And this animal head, this trophy, is on the table now. It fell off. That's what the lady says here. She says it fell off the wall. I think David Lynch is telling us, like, that practice and what it means with regard to legitimizing somebody's rule, whether it's a chief or a king or anybody like that. He's saying that's part of the problem with regard to the way this world works and the way that humanity has been organized. Y'all let me know what you think. Okay. Anyway, and they go through her safety deposit box and they find some stuff. Okay. They find a copy of a magazine called Flesh World, and they find an ad in there. This behind them is the plaque upon which, like, the taxidermied head of this, I'll just call it an elk, was, and it's gone. It's gone. Okay, it's on the table. How did it fall off? They don't explain it, but anyway, so they find this Flesh World magazine, and they find an ad in there that was taken out by Ronette, the other girl who survived whatever happened to Laura. So Laura and Ronette were taking ads out in this, pornographic magazine, basically selling or advertising their services. And next to Ronette's picture, there's also a picture of Leo's truck, and Leo is Shelley's husband, the truck driver that's extremely abusive towards her. And he finds in the ashtray, like, Shelley is watching the news and she wants to know more about Laura's murder. And he says, turn it off. So that obviously he knows something. And he finds, like, different cigarette butts in their ashtray, and he says, who's been here? Because these are not the kind of cigarettes that you smoke. So he suspects that she's been cheating on him. Okay, all right, whatever. Here's, Ed and Norma. They're going to meet later at the roadhouse. There's the mayor and the town elders announcing Laura's death and the investigation. These are the three people who are connected to the sawmill: Jocelyn Packard, Pete Martell, and Catherine Martell. Again, Catherine is the sister of Jocelyn's late husband. Okay. Pete was just a regular employee. I think he was a lumberjack or whatever, and, like, she fell in love with him at some point and married him. And it's not a great marriage, but for whatever reason, they're still together. Okay, so Dale Cooper and these two are announcing, don't let your kids go out. There's a curfew for everybody under the age of 18, because, there's an investigation going on and they're trying to figure out what happened to Laura. Again, notice the wood paneling. Oh my God, this town. I know it's a logging town, but why does there have to be so much wood paneling? And then this, like, painting on the wall. What is this a painting of? It doesn't look like a sawmill. It doesn't look, what is this? This is a completely nonsensical painting. There's, like, mountains in the background of the painting, but still weird. Weird. Anyway, so they make their announcement at this meeting. Again, like, the most important people in the town are there. This is Donna's father and Donna's mother. Donna's mother is in a wheelchair. We don't find out why she's in a wheelchair, but they're having a conversation about, like, what happened, Laura's death, and how, like, Donna probably knows more than she's letting on, and Donna is upstairs listening, and then she goes into her room, or maybe not her room, but her sister's room, and she's planning on sneaking out later because James left her that note that said, meet me at the roadhouse later, or at 9:30. Interesting. So she's sneaking out, she's going out the window, and y'all notice the radiator. Okay? Notice the radiator. This is a David Lynch production. There's going to be a radiator somewhere. So here it is. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, so she sneaks out. She goes to the roadhouse to see her boyfriend, who was also Laura's boyfriend before she died, James. Oh, yeah. And this is Donna's sister. Don't remember her name, but again, this is very weird. All of these beds are facing away from the entrance of the room. Why? I don't know why. So, okay, Bobby and Donna's football player boyfriend come to the house. They want to see Donna because they want to know who shot that video of Donna and Laura at the picnic. The father is like, yeah, wait on the porch. I'll go see if she's here. And obviously, they don't want him in the house. They don't like him. But, so the father is coming upstairs to get Donna and to ask the sister where she is. And again, like I said, all of these beds are facing away from the entrance of the room. Why? That's just not smart. And like I said, Donna's room is like that. Laura's bedroom is like that. The Audrey's brother's bedroom is like that. All of the beds are facing away from the entry door. What the hell? Okay, anyway, the dad comes in, asks her, where's Donna? And the sister, breaks down pretty quickly and says, see that window over there? That's where she is. She snuck out. Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I know this was the late 80s, early 90s with regard to this decor, but, and again, there's always wood somewhere. Look at this parquet floor. This is a hardwood floor. I don't know, this picture in the background, is this something that Norman Rockwell did? I don't know. But there's this sense in the architecture and the interior design of the homes and everything in this show. This is supposed to be an idyllic little town where everything seems perfect, but obviously it's not. There's a lot, all these people have a lot of skeletons in their closet. Again, I can't analyze every single thing in these rooms and everything, but I noticed the picture on the wall. I noticed the yellow flowers in the vase. I noticed the wooden floor. I noticed that all of these beds are turned away, facing away from the entrance. Weird. Just weird. Okay, so these two idiots, Bobby and what's-his-face, go looking for Donna. They're going to the Roadhouse. That's like a bar that everybody frequents in town. And Harry Truman and Dale Cooper are also staking out the Roadhouse. They're following Bobby and Donna's football player boyfriend over there. And then, if you want to hear the lyrics to the song, that's part of the opening credits. Here it is. This in the Roadhouse scene. This lady is singing them. Okay, so Norma and Ed are meeting at the Roadhouse. The Roadhouse seems like kind of a seedy place, right? And again, look at this. Sheesh. The seats are red, and the walls are made of logs. Jesus. Okay. All right. They just can't get away from all these. And again, this lady is singing the opening credits song. And look at the background behind this lady who's singing. She's wearing red earrings. She's got red fingernails. And her background is red curtains. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. And she's got red lipstick, too. Wow. Okay, let's keep it moving. And I know this might be, David Lynch trying to remind you of his movie Blue Velvet. Isn't Isabella Rossellini's character like a lounge singer in that movie? And this is very reminiscent of her singing in that movie. I don't know. I haven't seen Blue Velvet, so... Anyway, so this is the Roadhouse. They're staking out the Roadhouse. Again, this is kind of like a weird little place. This is where everybody goes. They're walking up to the Roadhouse. Laura's boyfriend, Bobby, and Donna's boyfriend, what's-his-face. So they walk in to the roadhouse while this song is playing. They're looking for James. They figured out that it's James. They see Donna here. They start causing trouble. They get into a fight. They start beating up on people. They're just generally horrible people. And one of James's motorcycle riding buddies rescues Donna from this melee and drives her over to where James is. And of course, Dale Cooper and Harry Truman follow this guy, and then they lose this guy. And then, but anyway, Donna meets up with James. They kiss, they profess their love for each other, whatever. And they decide to bury James's half of Laura's locket. And then Dale Cooper and the sheriff find them just after they bury the locket, and they put like a little rock on top of where they buried it to mark it. Here they are. Now they take James to jail and they take Donna home. And they put James in this holding area, and right there with James is Bobby and his like grimy little football player friend. And like Bobby starts, and they both start barking at James, which is just really, really weird. I don't know why. I don't know why they have to bark at him, but it's creepy and weird. And this is interesting. The jail seems to be one of this area, this holding cell area, seems to be one of the few places in town that isn't like overrun with wood or wood paneling or logs or parquet floors or wood furniture or anything. Really interesting. Really, really interesting. Anyway, Donna's father takes her home, and then the next morning, Lucy sets up this awesome spread of donuts and coffee for Dale Cooper and Sheriff Truman in the, I guess, the conference room of the, I guess this is, wait a minute, is this the police station? And again, like in the, I think I already went over this, but this guy whose picture is like the lower left-hand side of this wall, the guy with the hat, his picture, again, his picture is on the, his likeness in stone is on the outside of this sheriff's office, right? So they've got all these gorgeous donuts. This is making me hungry. I'm on a low-carb diet now. But, and again, styrofoam cups were just normal back in the day. So, don't get started on how bad styrofoam is. You could still buy styrofoam cups at the store, but they used to be like really, really, now we use paper cups more often. Back in the day, it was more styrofoam. And they've got those little plastic coffee stirrers and everything. So, really, really, really interesting. And this is where I think Dale Cooper tells him, like, yeah, he already told him it wasn't Bobby. And I think he tells him, like, it wasn't James. So, and this is the part where Dale Cooper asks, like, is there a reasonably priced, clean motel that he could sleep at? Because he thinks he's going to be in Twin Peaks for a long time. And he tells him, go stay at the Great Northern. We can get you a good rate there. Whatever. Okay. And then this is the part of the jailhouse meeting where these two idiots are barking at James. James seems like a pretty nice person. But whatever. So, and then we find out at the end of the episode that Sheriff Truman is having like an affair with Jocelyn Packard. Really, really, really weird. And this last part of the episode is creepy. So we see this like stoplight changing colors. So we see this red here, but I think we also see the green light and the yellow light. I'm not sure. And then this is like the part of the episode that's really weird. We see somebody digging up the necklace that Donna and James buried, and hold on. And it turns out that the vision of seeing somebody like dig up the necklace that Donna and James buried, the other half of Laura's heart, this is like a vision or a nightmare or something that Donna's mother, Sarah, is having as she's lying on the couch, like probably still out of it based on like, what she's been through that day. And then, like, this is the famous part of the end of the first episode. In the mirror on the wall above Laura's mom's head, we see the reflection. She wakes up from the dream where she sees somebody digging up the locket or the necklace or whatever. And in the mirror, she's screaming because she sees whatever is reflected in the mirror. Check it out. Check out the mirror. There is a face in the mirror. That's what she's screaming at. Make of that what you will. And that's it. That's the end of the episode, right? That's the end of the episode. And then we cut to the ending credits with the portrait photo of Laura Palmer. Looking, like I said, looking like the living dead. And that's it, you guys. That's it. And in that shot of, like I said, the mirror above Laura's mom's head, and behind Laura's mom is the portrait of Laura, the homecoming portrait. So you guys, I think I've taken up enough of your time. I don't know whether or not I said anything. Please let me know whether or not I said anything. This is going to be, I can tell you right now, this is going to be a fun series to do this for. I know I'm going to spot a lot of stuff in upcoming episodes. Again, there are 30 of them. I cannot John Madden them the way I'm doing with The Shining. It's just not a good idea. That would take way too much time. But like, I will watch these and rewatch them. I might just put them on my TV and watch them as like background noise when I'm doing something else. And I will notice things. I promise you I will. So that's it, you all. That's it for this first installment. And I think it's kind of long because the episode is kind of long. The pilot episode is over an hour and a half long. So, my goodness. I'll leave these things in the description, the fandom page, the Wikipedia page for Twin Peaks, and the list of episodes and all this stuff. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I said something. Let me know. I'd love to, I can't wait to see what you have to say in the comments. Let me know what you think. And that's about it. So until next time, until I come back with yet another video about something, I guess I'm going to go ahead and bid you bye-bye. So, bye-bye, everybody.